Alright, let's go in the garden. The drip tape has been blown around a bit. I might have to secure it, but I think once I add some more mulch on top of it, it'll hold it down. The stuff can be buried, so I'm not too worried about it. Same with the this main pipe running down the side. Eventually maybe today even, it'll get buried with mulch. So here's where we're at. So I'm gonna try to knock down weeds in each row, but mainly I'm just gonna try to get this row cleared out, since this is the last one I have to mulch. So I think we'll start here. Well, that Toro does a mighty fine job. I had to be careful because my netting, my bird netting's still kind of, well, it's still there. But I did run the drip system for probably 40 minutes this morning. So hopefully they got a little water today. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. But we're looking good here. I'll start wheelbarrowing out here. I'll start bringing wheelbarrows of mulch down here to fill this in, and then whatever's left over we'll kind of spot fill. But we might start filling in the raspberries too, I'm not sure yet. But for now, this part of it's done. And maybe I'll start working on that grass over there. I'll tell you, that pile of grass smells awful. But what are you gonna do? Whew, yeah, I'm downwind of it here. It smells terrible. Yeah, that's been cooking in the sun for about 2 days, so I bet the center's still very wet. But I think it's good to do that. It'll definitely help. If it heats up that much, it'll help kill off some seeds, kill off bugs, and hopefully make a pretty decent mulch. But so far so good. I mean, there's not, there's weeds, that are growing through, but I think after another layer of grass and wood chips, it'll be a really nice layer of suppressions, so I don't have to spend all my time pulling weeds, because I'm already spending all my time on the tractor. It's nice, all those yellow flowers are coming in. There's some areas of the lawn that I'm going to stop mowing, kind of behind the garden, a little patch in this area. Just kind of, I don't need to have 5 acres of mowed lawn all the time. I was mainly doing that to collect it for the garden. So now I'm just going to keep some paths mowed and have a few kind of natural looking areas, so it's nice to look at. But we'll see how it goes. So, alright, I think I'm going to go get the wheelbarrows and start doing this mulch. Alright, so the premise here is pretty straightforward. We're going to fill this wheelbarrow. Oh, you know what? I just went all the way to the garage and didn't get my pitchfork. Noob. Anyway, premise is pretty simple in theory. That goes in there, that goes into the garden, and there's a row in the back I need to finish. And then I'll take the rest over to the raspberries over there, start filling those in. I figure this is probably enough grass for all the raspberries, and maybe a little bit left over there. But back to the garage I go to get the rest of the tools that I forgot. I need a shed. I need a shed, and I need to put it like right there in the shade, so I can drink a lemonade in it and look at the garden when I'm done. That little trick usually works better on like big piles where you can lean your wheelbarrow against it, but you know, it saves just a little. If it saves one more scoop on my back, it's a good day. Yeah, this stuff smells like my high school locker room after the football team was in there. Oh. Alright, we're here in the very back of the garden. This is the last row, literally the last, I don't know, 20 feet that didn't get covered. You can see some of the wet spots that the drip hose created this morning, so it's good. Unfortunately, one little guy, this is a sunflower, and he got his head bit off. So we ran out of, well, we didn't run out of bird netting, it was just, we ran out of energy. There was no, it was like 9 o'clock on a Thursday before we were leaving for vacation, and it required stitching together 3 pieces, but there's like a 30-foot section, then we needed 2 more 30-footers, and I would have had the time together, and there was no time, so it got eaten. It's the cost of doing business. But let's get this thing covered so we can finish the rest. So this will actually be the first section of drip line I cover with the mulch, so we'll see how it does. But luckily this piece is pretty straight. Well, actually no, it's not straight. It's down there. I want to make sure it's at least in the center, so that when it gets buried, it stays in the center. Alright, well, I just got that row done over there. Now I'm going to do this one, but instead of making you watch me do the whole thing and sweat and get real gross and complain about the smell, we're just going to use the power of the internet to go, and voila, here's the after. That'll help keep the weeds down. Alright, let's go to the next one. It's taken about 2 wheelbarrows of grass to cover each of these beds, so not too bad, but definitely going to help. There's a lot of weeds in between them, and I know these raspberries really like nitrogen, so this ought to help. So this is the before, poof, just like that, the work is done. Looking good. I got 1 more row to do. Voila. Okay, got all these beds covered. Look good. Looks real nice. Looks very defined, and I think it's going to keep these plants real nice and happy. I can't wait to see what this will look like by the end of the summer. I have no idea how big some of these canes are going to get. Obviously in the coming years they'll get much bigger, but we're at a good start. Sarah's working in the garden over there, putting her head right in the lion's mouth at the tick den. Look at this. This one is actually a natural raspberry that was grown here when we got here. The one on the left is what we planted, but that guy's figured we'd just let him go wild and see how he did. How we looking, babe?
Good. Planting some more squash.
Planting squash. Gotta have the squash. Squash. Alright, I think I'm gonna go in there with the wheelbarrow and put some more grass down in there until it's gone. And then we'll start spreading mulch. Oh, there you are. And then we'll start spreading mulch. Okay, that's what's left. Probably, that's quite a bit actually. So I'll pick a few rows to start dumping it on. Alright, we just took the bird netting off of this row, so I'm going to run down it with the weed whacker and then take all the remaining grass and fill it in. Yeah. Voila! Covered this whole row with some fresh grass clippings, so that's looking good. This is probably a good example of what it, this is the next row we got to cover, a good example of what it looked like before, but this is good. So now the drip line's somewhat buried. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it'll keep it from blowing around. I did notice that when there'd be some wind it would move around a bit, so that ought to keep it in place. I don't think we're going to get around to the mulch today. It's getting late and we're feeling tired and want to do some other activities, so feeling good though, making good progress. I think tomorrow we'll definitely get some mulching done with that pile off in the distance. But got the tarp of stinky grass put down, and that's what counts. Alright, if I do anything else exciting today, I'll let you know. Otherwise, thanks for watching so far.